folks, so today is day 4 using the Tarteist Pro palette. I do just want to start off this video saying I'm not feeling the best and I am in a giant onesie. I don't care. There is absolute shit outside right now. It's like a full-on blizzard, so yay. So yeah, I just wanted to be comfy, so I threw on a onesie. So yeah, coming at you guys today with sort of just a brown smoky eye. I used that sort of trick of using the tape to make everything a little bit more clean. Also used sort of the bottom row of the palette, and these eyeshadows actually performed fairly well for me today. So in general, I have a feeling that this palette is pretty hit or miss. Some of the eyeshadow is performing better than other ones and blah blah blah. If you guys want to know how to do this look, then just stay tuned and here's the tutorial. Okay, so I decided to do a line of tape like I did in my last video. I really liked the way that looked. It looked a little bit cleaner than makeup I normally do, so I'm gonna continue to do that at least for another couple looks. So I'm gonna try to make that even on both sides. Yeah, good luck with that. I do already have Urban Decay Primer Potion on, so I can just kind of use my shadows and just go in and do whatever. So first thing, I'm just taking the large fluffy brush. I'm going into Vintage, which is the sort of like whiter shade in the palette. I'm just applying this just as a brow bone highlight. Next, I'm just taking the 217. I'm going to be going into Bold. Alright, so I'm going to be going into Bold. I'm also going to be mixing in a little bit of Indie. First, I'm going to go in with Bold though in the crease and then just sort of blend up towards the brow bone with Indie. And the thing is like these shadows on the bottom row I actually don't find like to be the worst quality. These ones are some of the better ones in the palette, so it's hard, right? Like when you have a palette and most of the eyeshadows suck, but then there's a couple of them that are really good. It's just, I wish there was even consistency across the board. Because, you know, that just applied really, really nicely. Dusting off that brush a little bit, taking a little bit of Indie. This is just going to add a little bit more of a cool tone. Then if you take that a little bit too high, which is kind of what I'm doing right now, but I kind of did it on the other side, so I want it to match. Then what I can do is I just take the fluffy brush and just sort of bring that color down and blend everything together. Alright, so then once that's applied, I'm just going to take my 239 from MAC. I'm going to be going into Edgy, which is this brown in the bottom. I actually don't mind this color as well. It's one of the better performing ones in the palette. And this is just going to get applied all over my lid. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 217 in with a little bit of this shade and just blend the two together. And then use that to blend everything seamlessly. And then these colors actually blend fairly well together. I don't know if it's just because they're so similar in shade, or they are just the better ones in the palette, but I have really no complaints about those shadows. So I'm going to take a different 217. I'm going to go into the black in the palette, which is Punk. I'm just going to get just a little bit of that on the outer corner, and this is just going to get worked in lightly just in the outer V. And this is why I actually really like having this tape here, because I'm able to get a nice line from that and I don't really have to work too hard. Props to the makeup people who can do this without the use of tape. Like, I don't know how, but you're made of magic. Alright, and then I'm just going to take that brush that had the brown on it and I'm just going to kind of go over everything just one last time, make sure everything's blended well before I take the tape off, which I'll do now. Okay, so for the inner corner, I'm just taking a small pencil brush. I'm going to go into Glam. And I'm just going to apply that just in my inner corner of my eye. And so I did go in with Mauve, which is sort of this like raspberry color in the palette. This color not the best performing, so it's not as intense as it actually looks. But I'm just going to apply that just right underneath my bottom lashes. You could really do this with any color that you wanted. I think like a pop of blue would look really nice as well. And then I'm just going to take the brush that I had a little bit of the brown on and I'm just going to blend that out. So that's everything for the eye makeup. I'm now just going to apply a line of black eyeliner, do my eyelashes, come back and show you how I'm going to finish up the rest of the face. Okay, so then that's it for the eye. Next I'm going to do my contour, which of course I'm using NYX Taupe Blush. Just my favorite, and I almost need a new one because it's running really low. And then for blush, I'm using Milani's Luminosa. And then for highlight, just a little bit of Becca's Pearl. Okay, so then for lips, you really can do whatever lip you want to do with this. I'm not feeling overly inspired today. I'm a little bit under the weather. I'm not feeling too hot today. I actually just grabbed the first color that was close to me. This happens to be Makeup Monster's Victorian Velvet. Sort of just like a peachy color. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply that. Okay, so then that wraps up the finished look. Also, I wondered why it got so dark in this room so quick. Turns out we're having a blizzard right now, so I'm just gonna insert a little footage of that in case you're curious about what weather I'm dealing with. So yeah, this is the kind of weather that I'm dealing with. It gets so dark and gray and gross. So yeah, anyway, so that wraps up day 4 using the Tarteist Pro palette. Actually didn't mind the eyeshadows today in that bottom row. All of those actually performed really well. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye!